what we try to do every now and then during the dig is what we call show and tell, which is just like what came up this morning in the buckets, what's interesting. Usually in the first week we're in dismantling walls, not a lot of things show up, but this morning, very surprisingly, so the first find, even before Chris organized this office, was this beautiful architectural element, which we will describe in a minute. In any case, it gives us a very important lesson for what to look for and to be very aware, especially when we're dismantling walls, because all these walls are built, usually, the Byzantine walls are built from stones in secondary use. They just took whatever they found in the area and put it in the walls. So you can see, like behind Wayne, you can see a stone which has drafted margin behind Patrick. That's typical of the Temple Mount stones of Herod. Okay, you see just like a corner of the stone. So they just took a piece. You can see part of a column or a capital or whatever. So every stone we take apart, we make sure we check if it's an architectural element, if maybe, hopefully, we'll find an inscription, and these things happen. So that's the first lesson for the season, and Chris's discovery from this morning. Put it in the sun so you can see. It's a part of a cornice. A cornice. Okay, a short lesson in classical architecture. You probably all know what a cornice is, but usually we refer to cornices now in walls, where you have something projecting out of the wall, okay, like a cornice, but the original cornices, we also have them in the Herodian building in walls, but they are on top of the whole structure of columns. So if we have a hall which is, its roof is resting on columns, so usually we have a base of a column or a pedestal, a wider piece where the column starts, and then we have the column rising up. It can be, if it's on the Temple Mount, we probably have columns of maybe 8 meters, 10 meters, 12 meters, very high columns. On top of that, we have the capital, different kinds of capitals. Here in the southern part of the Temple Mount, probably Corinthian capitals. And on top of that, we have a whole series of horizontal beams. Okay, so we have what's called the architrave, which is just a straight beam connecting the top of the columns to each other. Sometimes we have what's called a frieze, which is a rounded piece. It's like a lying column on top of the architrave. And on top of that, we have the cornice, which is projecting out on either side from those two lower sets of horizontal beams. So this is projecting out. I should probably hold it this way. So the column is here, and this is like projecting out like a hat. And here you can see these things. So we look at these from the bottom. Okay, this is the way. You should imagine this high up. I don't know, maybe 10 meters high above you. And the decoration, which is what I hear from Orit, who's the co-director, and you'll meet her later, and she's a specialist on architecture. So this is typical Herodian. And actually this combination was found today just in the Temple Mount area. We have maybe similar things in Rome, but we have here what's called a consul. You see, it's the surface is projecting out, and it has a decoration of a leaf of it's called acanthus. It's also very common in the Greek architecture to design. It's like a long leaf a bit like a palm. And behind that, we have this palm of a tree or something like that. Again, this combination is very, very unique. We should probably date this to the late 1st century BCE or early 1st century CE, somewhere in that area. So meaning 2,000 years ago, meaning the late Second Temple period, again, probably of Herodian architecture. I can hardly believe it came originally from where Chris is working. Okay, this is supposed to be something probably huge, monumental with columns, probably. Maybe, but we didn't find any evidence for such a building. We have our monumental building, which is, we don't know yet exactly its nature, but I don't think it had columns or something in that. So this probably rolled down from the Temple Mount and was used through the centuries. So this is our first show and tell for today.